The Halo universe is filled with wonder, mystery, and fascinating discoveries around every corner. With so much to explore, four friends decided it was about time that they booted up their consoles and discussed this universe that has grabbed their attention since childhood. JumperScape Audio kindly welcomes you to join them in the library.
Hello everybody, welcome to The Library, the show where we talk about Halo lore, and today we're talking about Halo Reach, the one where everyone dies. Spoiler alert.
Dude, I haven't played it yet.
That sucks. What are you doing on this show? Connor, have you played it yet?
I have.
Okay, he'd be the only one that wouldn't have played it before.
This one hurts my soul.
This one hurts everyone's soul.
Exactly. Now, before we get on to all of that, first and foremost, obviously, we have to do some plugs, because that's how you do it. If you really care about us, then you won't skip us this time. I'm just saying. Discord.gg/JumperScape if you want to join the community. Lots of stuff happening there. And we're nearing 600 members. You should absolutely get us over that limit, please. And then, if you want to support us directly, that's patreon.com/JumperScape. Lots of little goodies. We're about to see if we can add some more goodies coming up soon, because we have people working around the clock. Did you guys know that there are 12 people that work at JumperScape? Did you know that?
I did not.
Yes.
I did not. That
Whoa!
is crazy.
Who is There's that? A voice!
Awesome, really.
Who is that?
There's a voice!
Who is that? That's
Now-
not James.
It's not James. James is
I'm sorry.
James is
I should have
dead.
said it.
No, it's
No,
fine.
you're
No,
good,
here's the
by all
thing.
means.
This is a perfect segue. We have two guests on the
Two
show.
of
Two. We got two of them.
This is getting out of hand. Now there are two of them.
So, I would love
Another
to.
one.
I would love to introduce. I'm going to do it one at a time, so you guys don't try to talk over each other. I would love to introduce Mr. Jack Harvey, the director and lots of other things for Containment Media. If you would like to introduce yourself, and what in the world are you doing on my show? Our show.
Is this isn't the call to see how to pay my child payments? I thought.
Whoa.
No. G'day, everybody. My name is Jack Harvey. As Austin said, I'm the creative lead and director at Containment Media. At the moment, we're working on a series of Halo fan films, live-action fan films, one of which is the newest project, Pious Dawn, which is also currently up on Indiegogo. We're trying to raise the funds to get that over the bridge. But yeah, we're just a team of Australian-based professionals who all happen to love Halo. Yeah, we're just trying to do something awesome for the community.
Sick. Happy to have you. You're the random voice that people heard in last week's episodes. So now you're here sentient.
Jack, I'm not going to lie. When Austin told me you were a guest, he's like, oh, yeah, we have a guest coming on by the name of Jack Har. I'm like, he's not about to say Jack Harlow, is he? Like, I'm like, there's no way, right? If you guys...
No, he's... not as cool, unfortunately, but that's okay.
He said Jack Har. I'm like, wait, what? Yeah, Harvey. I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, my
okay.
bad. Yeah, I misspoke. Post Malone will be joining.
It's Post Malone.
One day.
Now, he is a gamer, so, who knows? But... now we also have another guest, a special guest, someone who was there, who's been there, who's done that, who's been there and done that. We have Mr. Matt Sitdown. Would you like to introduce yourself, my friend?
Yeah, I was a machinima director back in the day. I made a few machinimas that got moderately popular. I think, to be honest, I'm probably better known for voice acting in a lot of various machinima projects back in the heyday of Halo Reach machinimas, when that was the most current Halo game. Because that game was just a great machinima engine.
Oh, it was.
It was like a huge asset for anybody who was wanting to make films with explosions and helicopters and but didn't, actually want to put in money into doing that. It was a great time.
Did you do you have any of these machinimas off the top of your head that people might know you from?
I think the biggest one I was in a lot of stuff for Arc Element Studios, like Oblivion, I believe. I was in what was it called?
Get there.
For some reason I'm blanking on the name right now. It'll come to me.
Okay.
It was one that Pep Jack Hahn did.
All right, if it comes to mind, just interrupt me while I'm speaking or anyone else is speaking, even yourself.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. But no, I voiced in a lot of stuff. That's
That's a good time. That's fantastic. I love it. Yeah, so we've brought these two in, mostly because, first of all, Jack Harvey out here trying to tell a gritty story in the Halo universe, but, in his own way. So obviously we got to talk about the grittiest Halo Reach. Are you guys laughing at the gritty?
No, because you said I'm sorry.
Austin the grittiest Halo Reach.
Austin said gritty, and like at the same time, without communicating, me and Connor both hit the gritty without even no communication. I did it. I saw him out of the corner of my eye, and I'm like, I just kind of facepalm. I'm like, we're awful people.
Jeez. And then of course I pulled in Sit Down because he is a machinima director from back in those times, and he was a really cool pal at HCS whenever we met up last year on accident.
Yeah, I mean, that was actually cool meeting you, dude. Like you seem like a cool guy as well, and hearing you were doing a podcast about Halo, it did catch my interest as well. Even just as a fan of that kind of thing.
I was cool.
Dude, you're blowing it.
I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. And also, you were hanging around with Halo Box Studios quite a bit. So when you were hanging around that guy, I was like, okay, well, this guy's on the level, obviously.
Well, they're cool. They're very cool.
Yeah,
having met them.
I love Jordan. He was on here. What was it? 2 weeks ago, and he sure does know how to make it seem like he knows exactly what to say. He was having a good time with it, I'm sure. So before we continue on and get to you guys, because I do want to talk about the stuff that you're doing and the stuff that you may be doing in the future. Who knows? But first, guys, this is a Halo lore podcast, and it usually takes us forever to talk about the Halo lore, so we're got to get it out of the way or else we're going to forget. So, like we've been doing for the last couple weeks, brief Austin-themed recap where it's really rough, and you probably shouldn't listen much to it because it's going to skip over a lot of details. So basically, Reach is under attack.
Oh no.
All right, that's the
that reaction. Oh no.
But no, for real. So you're playing as a guy named Noble Six. It's not his real name, but who cares about what his real name is? Sometimes he is a she, depending on what you want to play as. So it's just kind of it's up in the air at the moment. So Noble Six has been added to Noble Team because there was a dude that died in the trailer, and he has to replace that guy. So now there's something going on over in another part of Reach. Where? I don't know. I can't remember the name, but it's somewhere out there. Basically, 3 Charlie, a Marine platoon, battalion, squad, I don't know. They're out there trying to find out why there are some relays going down on Visegrad. That's what it is. And so they go to check out the relays, and there's aliens. Why are there aliens on Reach? That's like way too close to Earth, everyone says in unison. And so Noble Team is deployed to try to defend the planet. They defend it in various ways, such as going into space and blowing up a ship with another ship using a ship. They also will fight on the ground on beachfront scenarios in the same mission, kind of. They'll also fight in cities that are currently collapsing, where you can have a dance party with brutes as the DJs and the bartenders. You can do all sorts of fun stuff like that in Halo Reach. There's also a hidden race mode in one of those maps, and it's fantastic. I think it's the sword-based mission. You should find it. It's a good time. But the whole point of the game is basically you're going to slowly watch as Halo Reach falls around you, and your squad is picked off one by one by one by one.
I don't like to think about it.
Starting with Connor's probably favorite, George.
No!
Poor guy.
He should not have gone, but he went out epically. He went out in style.
Exactly. And then following George, we had Kat, which, some people are actually really heartless about. I'm not going to lie.
No, people, they on her because she can't drive, for one. But two, it's just like her death, it just kind of came out of nowhere, and it was arguably the most emotional. Arguably.
Yeah, with the piano hit and everything.
Yeah. And you didn't see it coming, just like the music and the dialogue goes quiet. Like, you just don't see it coming.
Yeah.
That one, I was just like, damn.
Damn. That's crazy.
That's about all the emotion I gave for that one.
Next up was Carter, who just threw himself into a scarab using a whole pelican, which went well, actually. He took out the whole scarab. Now, granted, George's kill count is higher, but...
Of course it is.
Of course it is.
But he took out the scarab, and that was pretty much it. And
do we want to talk about what happened to June?
We're gonna. He's not dead
I know
yet.
he didn't die, but I didn't know if you just wanted to
He's the last one because he's not dead yet.
Fair enough.
I'm going in sequence.
Oh, okay. I see.
Because then next is Shane's favorite, Emil, who gets stabbed through the abdomen.
Went down swinging.
And then Noble 6, who went out as he was born, a lone wolf.
Or so we think.
Dun, 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 dun. I mean, Halo follower would say that he's alive.
He's in a cave. No. He's
in a cave.
He's not in a cave. He's not in a fucking cave.
What if he is though?
No, he's not in a cave.
What if he survives?
He's not in a cave.
What if he survives?
Full time.
So, and then there's June, and June just doesn't die. He just is told, "Hey, if Halsey acts up, shoot her." And then he's been George. And then June leaves, and June goes on to train the Spartan 4s. That went well. So now June is kind of out doing his own thing. He's just a Spartan trainer out there. He's talked about being in Noble Team occasionally, and most recently, you could probably find him in. Most recently, chronologically wise, you could probably find him in the Lone Wolves, which there's a whole episode of Stories from Waypoint out right now about Lone Wolves intel. So if you want to hear somebody do an impeccable June impression, you can look that up. Stories from Waypoint, streaming on all platforms. But aside from that, Halo Reach is much more than its campaign, because yes, all of that is happening, and the fleet that's attacking is there's 6 different fleets attacking Reach at the time. Not that's including Arbiters. Everyone thinks that it's just Arbiters' fleet of particular justice. It's not. It's 5 other ships or fleets. It's the fleet of particular justice that chases the Pillar of Autumn to Halo at the end of the game. But there's a bunch of fleets all attacking all at the same time. There was the scouting fleet at the beginning, which they took care of pretty nicely because it was just one ship basically. And then there was a whole bunch of stuff that was sent by, I think it was the Ministry of, don't remember what the ministry of it was, but it was a ministry sent from the Covenant. And when the ministry sent that was sort of like a hold off. That was not the primary fleet. That was just a bunch of ships to keep humanity distracted, which is awesome. And so then what ends up happening is there are 3 more fleets that pop up, and that is including Arbiter's fleet. So he's held responsible for the destruction of Reach, but being real, he's probably just another pawn in the whole thing. So we can credit him the kills, but he's not the only one that's out there. So Reach is just a sob story. It's very sad. It's a juxtaposition of our previous episode ODST, where we have humans that are surviving and the planet doesn't get completely glassed, only partially glassed. Sorry, Africa, but Reach is not that. Reach gets completely annihilated, and the only way that you can really see what happens next is in the books, which, granted, good books, but a lot of people are wishing to go back to Reach by this point. Since we got everybody here, I actually do want to kind of do a callback question, because I've asked this before about the previous games, but I want to know a couple things. First and foremost, best member of Noble Team. Hit me, anybody. Doesn't matter the order. Whoever's got it off the top of their head.
Do we want to let our guests go first?
I don't know. It's up to you guys. Are you nice?
I'm going to be nice. I thought they might want to say their piece. I figured it'd be the right thing to let them go first.
Wow, we're going to just have this meta conversation with them in the room, huh?
Yeah.
Damn.
Let them
polite.
speak.
Jack, what do you got?
Oh, man. Well, they're all sort of garbage because they died.
Whoa!
As you know, my man was a hero.
That's a take.
That is a take I've never heard. I've never heard that.
Noble Team is trash. They died.
Should have won.
Honestly, I think, to be perfectly fair, I think Carter, in my mind, is one of the best members of Noble Team, purely just because he was the team leader who was trying to hold everyone together, despite each of his team members ultimately dying eventually. That said, he did sort of tap out towards the end of the big battle, so it's but
Yeah.
no, I think Carter, honestly.
I remember thinking back in the day, sort of like a lot of things that people thought were being said in different ways, like George calling Halsey ma'am, but it sounds like he's calling her mom, which people are like, she's not his mom. And it's like, well, I mean, technically, all of the Spartan 2s consider her their mother, so I don't know what to tell you. But no, the thing with Carter is I remember thinking that he was saying, I've got the math, and then slams a pelican into the side of a scarab. And I'm like, I don't think you calculated that right. So for a second, I thought it was completely on accident. I really did.
Like, oh,
That's amazing.
calculations were
The
wrong.
fact that you actually thought it was on accident makes it so much. I got the math. Like, what did you think he was gonna do? Like, just bomb it, fly over it, and like, oh, he's just gonna bomb it and get out of it, and then he just slams into the side of it, and you're just traumatized as a little
I'm like,
child.
oh, he's got the math. Oh my god.
He in fact did not have the math.
Yeah.
He did not show his work.
This is what happens if you don't carry down with your division.
He
Slams into the side of him.
Exactly.
Bro needed a calculator.
bro forgot about PEMDAS.
He didn't have the calculator app installed on his TACpad.
Sure didn't.
So, Matt, what do you got for your favorite Noble Team member? Who's the best? Who's the GOAT?
My favorite Noble Team member was always Carter. I know I said the exact same thing.
Got a double whammy.
But no, I just think I like how he's kind of by the books, tried to keep the team together, but also like he had sort of like a connection with Kat as well, and that seemed to change how he behaved going forward.
Mm-hmm.
And as well, like I think his death is actually really, really cool. I think he's the team leader.
Hell yeah.
He sacrificed himself, didn't really have a choice because he's wounded anyway, and he did it for the mission.
The mission.
For the mission. Anyway, that's it.
He is that guy.
Yes, he
is that guy. Yeah,
him.
He is that guy.
So Shane, why is your favorite member of Noble Team Emil?
Well, what was the question? You said it's not our favorite. Who do you think
Who's the best member?
My favorite is Emil.
Mm-hmm.
I think the best is Noble 6.
Fair.
I think. I mean, Noble 6. He survived the longest. He stayed. Without him, we wouldn't have been, introduced to the Master Chief and his story. Cortana literally chose him for a reason to, deliver her to the Pillar of Autumn. His skill set, all the whole story about like all of his files being like covered in black ink, knowing very little about him. And at the end of the day, it's like Austin said earlier, it's a reflection upon you. You choose what Noble 6 is, who he or she is, because like he can be you. You can customize his armor however you want. You can play however you want to play him as. All in all, I just do think Noble 6 is probably the best.
Yeah, Noble 6 can canonically wear the three-headed Cerberus helmet with the new update.
Stop. I hate it.
Connor, best Noble Team member. I know what it is.
I wonder who he's gonna say.
Yeah, best and favorite's gotta be George. Bro's a walking wall with a just unstoppable force just attached to his hip. I'm a man for big weapons. All right,
You're a man for big characters. You're out here like, oh, I love the brutes. Oh, I love George.
I will say, watching him sacrifice himself, it was very respectful, but at the same time, it was so early.
Yeah,
They should have. I think they should have had him stick around a little longer.
I guess you could say his actions were noble.
Oh.
The utter silence for a second there.
I looked at Austin. He's like, oh, and then I heard you guys like, oh man. That's the reaction I was going for. It was supposed to be corny. It wasn't supposed to actually be funny.
I was hoping that no one would say a word. Like it would just be silent, just staring.
It kind of was. That was the reaction I was aiming for. Oh
Hey, Shane,
god.
you want to feel what a size 11 feels like to the side of the face?
No, I don't. I really don't. I'm sorry.
Oh gosh.
We'd like to have fun here.
I
But-
would never.
But of course, we've got more to talk about when it comes to Halo Reach than just its campaign because
Do we?
I mean, one of them is literally here because of other things related to Halo Reach. So the thing is, Halo Reach actually revolutionized quite a few things. Alongside the fact that Forge got a huge boost, including the addition of Forge World, as well as Theater kind of just being the same as Halo 3, but at least it was a little bit smoother of an experience. Halo Reach was, in many ways, a content creator's dream and also just genuinely one of the most fun. I think even today, MCC, Halo Reach is still the best game to do custom games. It has so many opportunities, so many options. Even when you have Halo 4 and Halo 2 Anniversary's programming abilities, it doesn't compare. It's a wild experience. So what I want to get from both of you guys, I'm gonna target you one at a time here because there are different reasons why you apply to this. Jack, I want to know, is Pious Dawn the future fan films as well? Are these going to take a similar tone to something like what we see in Halo Reach? Is Reach an inspiration for these productions?
Yeah, 100%. So the whole reason why I wanted to make these Halo films is because I think we haven't really seen something to this tone, except for the little live action trailers and stuff we've gotten, like Landfall and We Are ADST, that type of thing.
Yeah.
So it's very much I'm wanting to see what a grounded, gritty, like realistic interpretation of a conflict within Halo would look like. The thing I've been telling people is, if you could imagine the movie Sicario mixed with Halo, that's essentially the sort of the tone that we're trying to go for with Firestone and future films. But it's very much that sort of humanity struggling through extinctionalism and struggling through overwhelming odds to come out, whether it's, victorious like in other games, or whether it's just achieving the mission but at the cost of personal sacrifice, that type of thing. Just that type of theme really interests me, and I think it's something that Halo Reach did extremely well, in some ways better than a lot of the other Halo games, is just really nailing that element of, just dread and extinctionalism that you feel from all of the novels, but you'd never really see in other games because it's a bit more, sandbox gamey, sort of focusing on the fun side of being Master Chief and that type of thing. So
yeah, that's an excellent way of looking at it. I do love how Reach is still tonally so different from the rest of the franchise, even though I would love to have another game like Reach, because the realities of the Human Covenant War are fascinating, especially when you actually get to look into it in the attached lore. But Sit Down, you took it in a different direction. You had your own stories to tell within Reach and within the assets that it provided to you. I've seen quite a few, obviously. Just today, I don't remember what it was called, but I watched the one where you're basically getting directed by a guy and takes a bite of a chip or something. It's like that performance, that delivery is still wrong. I love that one.
Yeah.
Now, your machinimas are, from what I've seen, they can be serious, they can be funny, they can be sort of meta. What was it about Reach that was it like the first game that you thought of that you could make a story out of? Were you seeing other people creating directions and machinimas and such, and you wanted to do your own thing? What about Reach opened up that opportunity for you?
Well, one of the things is I just really liked Halo Reach. I mean, like as a kid, I played all the original Halo games, and I knew that people made, machinimas with them, like Red vs. Blue and stuff, which I'd seen at the time. But I looked at it and I was like, I don't feel like there's a lot I can do with this in terms of like creativity.
Yeah.
Instead of just doing Red vs. Blue, but different. But with Halo Reach, for one thing, the game for 2010, which I think was when it came out,
yeah,
the animations especially looked really solid, especially in third person. Like you could turn like characters' heads without turning their body too much. You could there's all kinds of micro movements you could do. There are all kinds of different walking speeds, and everything, like where everything was pointed was very accurate. The theater mode was so good. I think it's probably the best one in the series. Possibly the best one in the series. Halo 3 is pretty comparable. Halo 3 didn't have the Forge tools though.
Yeah.
And I also don't think it had the amount of customization that Reach did. So Reach, allowed me to make all kinds of very different looking characters. Forge whatever I needed to in any specific map, and the theater mode was so convenient. It was also, when I was old enough to start thinking about like, oh, I could do this and I could do that and I could tell a story and etc. And over time, I got better at it. But I think that was the game for me that showed me like there is so much possible with this. And I think that was the real point. That I think it was a real high point for Machinima that it never really reached again. After that, even with mods today, like today, technically you can do more with the mods for MCC. Like the sky's the limit, really. But I feel like that was at the peak of interest with Halo and the peak of interest for people seeing that you could do stuff like this with the game. I realize I've been droning on for a while, so I'm sorry about that. But
You're perfectly fine. Go for it.
Forgive me if I'm wrong, but was Reach the first Halo game where you could do the button layout and have them actually hold the rifles down instead of up the entire time? Is that right?
So
yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. Technically, no.
Okay.
The Halo 3 had a button combo you could do first, maybe even Halo 2. But Halo CE is the real OG because you could just look down and your head would go up. But Halo 3 had the OG, but Halo Reach had the easiest button combo as far as I can remember.
Right.
And also Halo Reach, if we're going to talk about its real contributions in the MCC when it was like really popular. When it came out, it had an easy button combo of just holding X and down on the D-pad, and your arms would go down. So it was still revolutionary at that time anyway. It was great. It was great, though. I do want to sort of know, with the way that Reach is, since it's a grittier tale and all that, do you think that making the stories for Jack, for you, basing the tone off of it, and for you, Matt, making stories in it, did Reach's storytelling influence the ways that you guys have looked at the story, or is it just a solid inspiration, something that you want Halo to go back to? Like, let's say, is Infinite doing it wrong in that sort of way, especially in your case, Matt, with how Infinite's theater mode is? I've heard that's not the best.
It's been getting better. I tried to make Machinima very early into Infinite, and I did actually end up making one Infinite Machinima, but even in that one, the armor just changed in the like just to something completely random, and I just ran with it. I was just like, okay, fine, the armor is that now. But I feel like there's just so many bugs, and also I noticed when you track on the theater mode, like your weapon goes back up, and then this is stuff that they've been tuning a little bit. And for another thing, they finally officially added weapon lowering, so you don't have to use scripting to get it. But but yeah, it's just been so buggy for the majority of the game's life cycle, and I think very recently they've done some updates to it. It finally works okay, but still not as good as Reach.
Do you guys
There's
think
still weird bugs about it? Yeah.
I was just gonna say, do you guys think that with Reach, do you think that since these films were being made, and I'm mostly looking for, since I don't know if you've done Machinima, Jack, but if you have thoughts on this, since you're doing cinematography and doing these directions and all that, do you think that because of the fact that we were making productions in Reach, that influenced how Machinima was made? Because it looked like Halo Reach Machinimas were made to be more serious. It was much more of a serious tone, much more dark. People would try to make it as realistic as possible. Do you think that because it was Reach, that was influencing it?
I think it's certainly, because I can't comment too much on the machinima side of things because I'm more of a consumer of media rather than a creator of media when it comes to that. But as touching on what we're doing with the films, it's definitely a source of inspiration as far as how to tonally achieve something that Reach set out to do. I think it's definitely not applicable to every single game, because I think if we took Halo 3 and applied the same tonal overcoat as Reach has, I think Halo 3 wouldn't, in my opinion, be as good of a game as it is. So I think it definitely is a specific application case. For what we're doing with the live action space, I think it's a lot more applicable because you're dealing with a realistic environment, that being real life. So we're dealing with real actors, real costumes, real cameras, everything. So it's a lot easier to translate that to screen than it is to copy and paste it onto another game. And I think Halo Infinite, it doesn't, I don't think it is lesser because it doesn't copy the tonal, the tones and the themes of Reach in that way. I think it's doing its own thing, which is fine. And even with us, we're not 100% copying the same tone and feel as Reach. We're sort of just using it as like a building block, and then we're establishing our own extra themes and stuff on top of that. But it was also interesting from a character perspective, because I think Reach is the first time you really get to humanize a lot of the Spartans. And that's something that hasn't really been touched on up until that point. Because again, most of the time we're used to seeing the Master Chief just be a vessel for the player rather than an important character within the story, a contributing character within the story. So it's been really interesting to see that dynamic, especially within the team play. So there's a lot of different, I guess, storytelling elements that Reach bring to the table that's really important, from my side of things anyway.
Hey there, Halo fans. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with our friends right after these messages.
Very, very true. Very true. So, Matt, your perspective, the way that it might have influenced machinimas, what do you think?
I think it absolutely did. I mean, even from like, I'm sad that a lot of the machinimas from the time that I was doing it were taken down for some reason. But the amount of machinimas that were based, they were based on the events of the game. Like they're like, oh, this is taking place on Reach at a different place than the game is. Because I think people were really inspired by the story. I think there's a lot of great things about the story. I think it's actually like people had mixed reception at the time, but I think now people love it, and I loved it at the time, and I think a lot of people did. And I think it's you know, it's not just that, but I think that the cinematography of the game at the time was really, really good. There's just a lot of very nice things about it for people who are like aspiring filmmakers and wanting to do that kind of thing. And they're like, this is a cool look. It's like you said, gritty before, but like it's gritty. And we want to, like, when you see the visual presentation of the game, it's like it's almost natural to try and do something like that, as opposed to Halo 3, which is a lot brighter. It's a lot. It's just a very different look, and I think even just the look of it sort of makes people shift into that direction.
That's likely extremely true. So absolutely solid observations. Now we are coming up on the end of the show already, because this is how it is. Yeah. Sorry, Connor. I know that you love it here.
That was so fast.
That did go fast.
It did.
Good conversations.
Yes,
Good
exactly.
conversations.
But there are still things that I got to get down to. Got to get down to the core. You see. So first and foremost, Jack, are there any things that we can look forward to soon in seeing what's happening with Pious Dawn, or any other updates that we can get that you would like to convey to the lovely audience who might be interested in knowing more about what you got going on behind the scenes?
So the overarching sort of thing for Pious Dawn is we're focusing on an ODST team as sort of the basis of our characters. And for those who've seen Monolith, which was the concept short where we first had you, Austin, and your team involved in, there's a few characters in there that we're bringing to the forefront and we're fleshing out completely. Everett being one of them, which was a side character that I threw into Monolith just as an idea, but now we're sort of being able to fully establish, okay, what would an ODST team look like in our sort of world that we're envisioning, because the movie is going to be set on the cusp of the end of Halo 3, just as they're sort of beginning their cleanup efforts, I guess timeline-wise, before Halo 4. So yeah, we've got a lot of really incredibly talented people on board. We've got a lot of really exciting parts of the script to show you guys. There's a particular journey that we're going to be taking, a great journey, some would say, that we're going to be taking with the script, which is, we're so excited. There's just there's so many cool things that we're going to be doing that we're really excited to show people, which is going to be fun.
Awesome. I love it. Matt, I really have only one major question for you, my friend, if I may.
Yeah.
When are you bringing back the machinima contests?
No, I've just been doing a lot of random crap lately. You know what, though? I actually have been, talking to a lot of people who I did machinima with back in the day. And I'm just gonna go back to Reach for a while, and maybe I'll do some Infinite content. But Reach was, where I was most comfortable. I did actually make a whole scene for a Halo Reach machinima, and I was like, I'm gonna wait until I do the rest of them. And at this point, I'm thinking of like, I'm just gonna post the scene just to show people I'm still doing it, and
Nice.
see like if people want to see that kind of content again. And just see like, is this, because it's like a brand new idea for something I want to do, and almost this almost like murder mystery within a Halo machinima kind of thing that I had an idea for.
Mm-hmm. I
And
love it.
so I did the first scene for that, and then I never released it because I was like, I'm going to do the rest of the scenes first. But I feel like people just kind of think that I just don't do that anymore, and I want to get back into it and start doing it again. So I think it might actually be a good idea for me to release that maybe like this week, even
Ooh.
just to show people that I'm like, here's machinima again. I'm going to start trying to do this on a semi-regular basis, just to because I like it. It's fun, and I love Halo, and I love doing short stories and that kind of thing. So
Sweet. We love it. I mean, around here, especially in the audience, I think I can speak on behalf of everyone at this point. Storytelling is the most compelling thing that we can see, and it's happening all the time. I think actually just yesterday there was a tweet from Mint Blitz, and Blitz for some reason deleted it, but Mint Blitz posted and said, "Why is Halo so quiet right now?"
I saw that tweet.
Yeah.
I saw that.
And there were lots of people that were bringing up good points. I didn't interact with it. I probably should have, and simply said, you're not looking in the right places, because the Halo community is on fire in different areas. You could look, if we want to get a little bit of an ego, we could say, look at us, but
We should.
we should.
Well, here's the thing.
Oh, well,
Totally could.
the key word there is the community. I think he more or less meant it in terms of like actual, like from 343. That's what he meant. But the community is alive and well. But yeah, I look, when I saw that, I looked at it more as like where he wants more content, more updates, like another roadmap or something to see what we're getting in the game, something along those lines.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that were taking it as community, and I don't think he ever clarified. So I think that's where the confusion might have come from.
Yes, he did not clarify,
which is awesome. Love that.
I think it's a bit of a shame almost as well if you're focusing on, from a gaming perspective. And I think what he does, it's primarily from a gaming perspective. I haven't seen all that much community stuff coming from him.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit like ignorant, I guess, if you just focus on what the game's doing without actually being bothered to, and I'm not saying he's done this, but I'm just saying from like a posting perspective, without going and delving into what the community's doing. It's like, and I mean, you brought up yourself just before, and I don't think it's an ego thing. I think you guys are actually doing the work. You guys are creating the community. You guys are, stories from Waypoint. We've got Tarkov. Like, your contributions are substantial. So it's like we can't ignore any of that. And like what all the machinima creators are doing, like yourself, sit down and all of the contests and stuff for the renders that I see coming up on the Discord. Like, it's like you said, Austin, it is blowing up. And from our perspective, we're just getting into it. That's, we're getting into a community at the moment that's already, running hot and pre-existing and doing all their fun, awesome stuff. But yeah, I had a question as well, just while I've got the floor, for you guys. Do you think if you were to take the tone out of Reach and replace it with something a bit more, I guess, non-serious and a bit more gamey like we've got with Infinite, do you think it would still be as fun of an experience with Reach?
As fun? It might, gameplay wise, it might be more fun.
It would be fun. It would feel like Halo, but the point is to take like that. The point of Reach is to like take that darker tone, make it more grounded, more like militaristic. Show you that's the more vulnerable side of Spartans. Like you grow up watching and playing as Master Chief. You're like, oh wow, this guy just kicks ass and takes names. Nothing can kill a Spartan, right? And then you go to Halo Reach and they just practically die like they're nothing. Like, it really, really hits hard. I think taking that tone, and this, like when I say tone, like from like the situation, the story, the art style, all that stuff. You take that all away, you're taking away what makes Halo Reach. That's just me though. I think it'd be fun, but it's not like Halo Reach feels much more unique than any other, entry in the series. Like it does not feel, it wouldn't feel the same.
I've always felt that it was more of like a spin-off than part of the actual trilogy, and I think it actually is, but it was something different for all the Halo fans, and something that broke formula even. And I think a lot of people really liked it, and they liked it for what it was. And I think, do we still want stuff like the original trilogy? Absolutely. I just think that Halo as an IP is just such a huge thing. It could be such a huge thing. Like there's so many things you could do with it in the universe, and I would just love to see more of that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Not just from the developers, but for anyone really, like the community, anybody telling stories. Just would love to see anything.
No, absolutely. I mean, Halo Infinite, they took like the first or second season of Halo Infinite was inspired by Reach, wasn't it?
The
Shadows-
second, the second one,
Second,
because that's the fall of Reach.
yeah. They basically,
It's just they didn't do it right.
No. They basically did their best with like I think the armor, like not into a lot of the armor these days in Infinite isn't like nearly as good. But like just the war torn and battle damaged look of the armor. That was one of the main critiques with one of the first Halo Infinite trailers dropped. Is just like he just looked too clean. Master Chief, that is. And like as time went on and they took that criticism, you see Master Chief again. He's got like he's battle damaged. They took that. It looks like they took that kind of inspiration from Reach for the armor. Not make everything look completely brand new and shiny. It looks like a Spartan that's been through some.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks the design of the armor, the design of the campaign, the way that the story is. It's like I said, would the gameplay be more fun? Maybe. I mean, Halo Reach's campaign and gameplay, lots of people complain about it for lots of reasons. I don't try to take away anyone's perspective on that, but Halo Reach's gameplay, the way that it is more compelling for its story. And so I look for a compelling story rather than a fun one oftentimes. And Infinite was fun. 5 was fun when you're playing on easy. There's fun to be had, but is it compelling? And usually, recently, the answer is oftentimes no. And that's the sad part for me. But that's just my theory.
So our last playthrough was a cursed version.
Yeah.
That we didn't finish.
That we did not finish.
And that's because the game just completely destroyed itself. But no, like it is interesting how it's like, even when I was playing the modded version, something just felt off. Like it didn't. I could like Halo CE cursed, easy for me to completely distance from the story. But when I'm playing Reach, even when it's cursed like that, I'm like, I can't separate the way that my mind is on what is happening. I am currently holding a Mountain Dew DMR. However, everyone is dying.
I think one of the mods that I played recently that I think does a really good job of keeping the storytelling being immersive is the Mythic Jaqui campaign overhaul mod. I don't know if you guys have played that.
I know what you're talking about. Have not gotten a chance to play because I don't want to play it by myself, my lonesome.
It's a good bit of fun. He hasn't changed much of the actual storytelling around it, but he's just added a whole bunch of weapons and sandboxy bits from other games. He's added the concept LMG and that type of thing. He's also done something interesting, which is he's changed Noble Team's color, like the rest of Noble Team's armor color, to whatever character, whatever your Spartan's colors are. Oh. So he's made it a bit more uniform, which is interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah. So I recommend giving it a go. I've played, it's pretty much the only way I'll play the campaign now, just because I think it adds a lot to the experience.
Did you say they added an LMG?
Yeah, they have the concept LMG in there, which is fun.
I've seen footage of
wasn't the concept LMG in a Monolith?
Yes, it was. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I remember seeing it. I'm like, oh, hey, there
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah,
funny.
it will not be making a return, but that's okay.
That's fine. Whatever you got to do, whatever you got to do. But yeah, I appreciate you guys being here. You guys have brought this is actually just like Halo Reach, a much more serious episode talking about the deep aspects of not just Halo Reach's story, but also its community aspect and the contributions that it's made. I don't know. I think a general way to end this one is just the simple question. Do you guys think that the next Halo should try to be more serious? Because Infinite, we get to see that there's some things that are serious going on, but we don't know the sheer gravity of how bad things really are because, I mean, you're saving Marines all the time. You don't really see that many. You don't get to see the destruction that supposedly happened aside from the ring getting slightly destroyed and one location where a Condor went down. So do you guys think that that the next game should be more like this is tragedy? Should it go back? Should it be forward? I want to know your guys' specifically, Jack and Matt. I want to know your guys' specific desires for the next game, if this is the sort of tone that you're wanting or if it's something else that you would really like to experience.
I think, honestly, personally, I'd love to see a story set just after the events of Halo 3 and sort of dealing with the aftermath while also like some special forces team dealing with, the aftermath of what's happened, the cleanup, the human covenant war has finally come to an end. So we got to deal with see a little bit of the politics of that we get to see in the books, but not really in the games. And then also dealing with like Covenant splinter cells still being around, sort of like how they did with Battlefront 2's campaign, Star Wars Battlefront 2's campaign, whereas like it was set just after that time period where they were still operational, but it was the fall and the ending of that. I'd like to see something like that personally. I don't know if that'd be a very fun game, and I don't know what they'd be able to do with multiplayer, but I mean, the Covenant would be back instead of seeing the Banished all the time now. So
the Covenant.
The Covenant.
To answer your question, I actually do think that they should, take like a more darker tone in the next game. And I think if they don't do that, they can still make a great game, obviously. But I think that it's been too long since we've sort of established the threat of the Covenant and the threats that exist within the Halo lore. Like Jack was saying, actually, I think covering what the Covenant is doing. Because, I mean, even like in Halo Infinite, we have very little background on the politics behind the Covenant. Like everything that's been going on with them since the end of Halo 3, it's barely been talked about in the official games. Like there's a lot of lore about it, like in comics and extended material. But inside the games, we've gotten pretty much nothing since the end of Halo 3 about what's been going on with them. And I think it's a huge part of the Halo universe that's just not really being talked about.
Solid. Man, you guys are awesome. You guys say some really nice stuff. Oh,
you guys
man.
have really kept us in line this episode.
You've kept us locked in somehow. Like I don't get it.
We've not had a side tangent. It's been weird.
No,
I will say
tangents can be fun though.
Yeah,
I hope you're taking you away from that.
No.
yeah.
What was
Just to stir the pot, but to stir the pot before we go, I've got to give a shout out to Connor, where salt and pancakes, bro.
Oh my god!
I must say, I have tried it, it is not as bad as you would
There's
think.
no fucking way.
I'm on to something.
I had to mention it because I spent all this time listening to the episodes and there's no vindication from my boy, so just gonna mention it.
You kept us in line this whole time. Just to step on our toes like that.
Hey, that's your guys' toes. I'm up here just fist bumping with my
You
salt
just made
and
his day.
pancakes.
We're never
Oh
going
my
to hear the end.
gosh.
Look what you've
We're
done.
going to be online tonight playing Helldivers. Congratulations to the Helldivers community, by the way.
We did it.
But like, straight
Lead
up,
Sony.
we're gonna be playing tonight. Snoy. We're gonna be playing tonight, and he's going to be all like, "Yeah, remember when Jack Harvey said that he likes all the pancakes? It's a thing. It's a thing."
I can't wait to tell James.
Wait, how much salt do you use? I'm gonna try that.
Oh my gosh!
How much? However much you're comfortable with.
Okay. Just give it a try.
I think it's dealer's,
Only
dealer's choice, my guy.
Only you can know
All right, fair
your
enough.
limits.
How much do you like salt?
Gosh, I'm putting an end to this. Thank you guys so much for listening to today's episode. If you want to do something fun, the quiz show is coming back next week on the community portion for next week. So if you want to sign up for that, that's in the Discord, discord.gg/JumperScape. Sign up is here in the channels. We'll put a little bit of an announcement out when this episode goes up so then you know where to look. But aside from that, if you want to support us directly, that's patreon.com/JumperScape, or you can help us reach our goal of greenlighting another show on ko-fi.com/JumperScape. All of that funding goes towards greenlighting new shows. You, friends, greenlighted Shane's show.
Thank you, everybody.
So we'll keep on working on that. But in the meantime, is there anything that you would like to say to the lovely people out here, Jack or Matt? Either one?
Support Pystone on Indiegogo. We need money, please. Thank you. Love you all.
Oh gosh.
I guess just to touch on what we talked about earlier, like the Halo community is huge. There's a lot of people doing some great stuff, and even I myself need to look even further into that because there's a lot of great stuff happening that a lot of people aren't seeing.
Oh yes, please. That's man, preach. Keep your eyes to the ground, my guys. There's a lot to see around here, and not just in this Discord that we're currently recording in, but in this community. Absolutely, 100%. So yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you, Jack Harvey and Matt Sitdown, for joining us today. Join us in 2 days, Thursday, to check out the community episode. And someone wrote an entire fan fiction for their review.
Oh boy!
So we're gonna have to read that.
And before I'd like to say, Mr. Jack, thank you for reinforcing my point.
You've
Salt
created
on
a
pancakes
monster. You've created a
is
monster.
amazing.
Anytime. I'm always here to just feed Connor's ego whenever he needs something.
Oh,
so.
no.
Thank you.
We'll see you all on Thursday. Have a great rest of your day.
The library was produced and published by JumperScape Audio. Funding was provided by our fantastic patrons on Patreon. If you enjoy the show and wish to support JumperScape's future projects or get some sweet benefits, join our Patreon at patreon.com/JumperScape or become part of this truly special community at discord.gg/JumperScape. Thank you for your listenership, and we hope you enjoyed.
The Halo universe is filled with wonder, mystery, and fascinating discoveries around every corner. With so much to explore, four friends decided it was about time that they booted up their consoles and discussed this universe that has grabbed their attention since childhood. JumperScape Audio kindly welcomes you to join them in the library.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to The Library, the show where we talk about lore on Tuesdays, but now it's Thursday, so we're talking about our community, our people, those who have carried us to this distance, who have gotten us to where we are today, the weirdos in the general chat.
Yeah. Yep.
Some of them are weird. Some.
The cultists.
No, they're all weird.
No, they all are.
I'm just trying to stick up for the normal ones.
No, here's the thing. If you're in this Discord, there is an automatic assumption that something's wrong with you. including us. Now, we are joined once again, brief introduction, we are joined once again by Jack Harvey, director and cinematographer and all of that, creative director, whatever you want to say, about Containment Media, and then Matt Sitdown, his own machinima director of himself. Welcome back, you both.
G'day, guys. How you going?
You gotta hit me with the Australian stuff.
Australian.
Is Chips the Bow your like favorite person
Ever. Not just in Halo, just ever.
Why would you say that? Bold of you to assume that.
No, it's just because I'm trying to be as offensive as possible. That's all.
Well, no, that's okay. I mean, it's going to be fun recording this because we have to invert all of the audio. And it's like when we film, we also need to like invert everything for the American audiences. So
got to upload the videos upside down. That's tough, man.
Constant struggle. I know.
Like, I always picture that you're just walking on your hands. I don't really know how it works, but
like gravity, is different.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
It's different. Yeah. You should come by and experience it sometime. It's a wild ride.
I'm down for it. I'm totally down for it.
Aren't you up for it, you mean?
Oh my God.
Anyway,
got him.
My friends, you are joining us here today to interact with our lovely audience because they are a wild bunch. They are a fun group of folks. For those of you who aren't involved with our community just yet, you can go to discord.gg/JumperScape. If you want to support us directly, patreon.com/JumperScape, or greenlight one of our shows at ko-fi.com/JumperScape. It's always great. It's always fun. It's always a good time. Get yourself some goodies while you're at it. It's all good. We're all having fun here. So, my friends, we have a lot of stuff that we got to get through because on this segment, in this portion of the show, we like to read the awful words of our audience.
Oh, no.
So first and foremost, we obviously have to address the Patreon, which, by the way, PO Box stuff will be continuing next week because I'm hoping that I've been waiting. I've not been checking, just hoping that things have been building up.
Mm-hmm.
If I show up and there's nothing there, I'll be fine. I'll be a little upset. If there's no beef jerky in there.
Give us stuff to open, guys.
Give us free shit.
Give us free shit.
If we're aiming for food, make sure it's like non-perishable.
Yeah.
If we open it, it's perished.
If we open it, it's already perished.
It's perished. Jeez. Okay, so we have a few new. Oh my gosh, what have they done?
Oh no.
There's so many. Oh man, this is sad. Some of these I think are about James, and
he's not here.
He's not here. Oh man, that's so sad. Oh well.
He'll know tomorrow.
He will. Yeah, true. Oh wait, no, they're gonna change it probably.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fine, James. He'll listen probably.
Probably.
So getting us started. James is a ghost. Poor baby. Austin's AI rat. Jacob Adlam, Scion Esports. Thank you for your sponsorship. Stories from Waypoint. New episode dropping this month in a couple weeks. It's Default 456. Dark Salad 42. It's Dick Hammerbush.
Yeah! It feels so weird doing the after hearing myself doing
Connor and Shane's pet rat, Jim, Dong Crowbar Shrub, Halo the Guy, Mr. Shifter, James Zealot. Oh my gosh, there's a rat, Shane, get it out! Spartan Dave, Captain Varco, UNSC Walk Softly, Cool Blazer, H Ghost, Kyle Hooley, Mo Maggot Yallin, Rat Hive Lord, that's Vermin, Spartan Habuko, G156, Addy Criminal, Connor Clark, Dapper Dame, Dylan, Lactating Gator, Lactating Milk MT, Linda Marie. It's a random, random call.
A slice of humanity, Linda.
Thank you. Every week, it's so nice. Sergeant Forge's Chipotle Shotgun. The freaking Batman, the Lactation of Mercy, the rat you'll be secretly thinking about later.
What?
A rubber room with rats, and rats make me crazy. Brennan Pfeiffer, Sky Cairo, Dadaroth, Izmaz Dao's Key Deedle. I don't know. Eliza, JX O'Malley, Keith Ju077, Oddball here, Slap Nuts, Tyson Rue 88, Aussie ODST, Damian Groth, Dr. Lactator, Gone. Oh my gosh, they're all about rats today. Jeez. Face McShooty, Zealot, Wart, Ginger Boy, Head Ass, Hayden, Bar, Don't Play, Name Games, Hamilton. Oh, dang.
Whoa.
He ain't interested in doing all this. Okay, Hayden, I see you. I'm here with all these damn rats. I'm going to put on my special vest and take them with me knowing I died a good death. Lactating Snake Nibbles, Pity 104, Pump and Munch, Rat Sir Chief. Shane, why don't you cuddle me like you used to? The Goob, Wraith, Insert Spectral RGB Spinning Party Hat Wearing Halo 3 Rat here. From the Halo.
Oh my god, I was gonna say, oh my god.
X3TN, Zengil, Daniel Dumpweed, Garrus Vicarian, Halo 3 Rat is mid, Halo Reach Rat is superior.
Halo 3 Rat is mid.
He said Halo Reach Rat is superior. If you disagree, 1v1 me.
I will.
That's Kyle.
I will.
Iskari, Keegan, and lastly, whoa, he changed his name. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. It's Warm Apple Swouse.
Swouse.
Yeah, they weren't as bad as I thought they were going to be.
They're pretty solid this week, actually.
When I heard Shane and Connor's, I'm like, oh no, what is? And then like Secret Pet Rat or something.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
what the?
Jim. Named Jim.
I'm like, what? I guess me and Connor have a pet rat.
Yeah, there's just a whole.
Really impressive.
I know. I did not know about these guys. Connor, what do you do? Why do you have a rat? I know you've owned a snake in the past, but
to feed the snake.
Oh no, Jim! Whatever happened to that snake? Did you give it back to the school?
Yeah, my sister was in some kind of animal science program, and we got to keep an eye on a big snake for a little bit.
What
we
was
had
it?
to give it back.
Was it a constrictor or?
I think it was a boa.
Yeah, it was
small.
It was big. Like big for
Big,
what you could
big
probably,
for like normal snakes.
Yeah.
But like as far as that animal goes, it was small.
I remember wearing it like a gauntlet.
It was so cool. I totally forgot about it actually.
You honestly were in your element when you were owning a snake.
It was very cool. We've had snakes. There's one time we had a bat. We had a chinchilla one time.
That's adorable.
All the temporary look after. We don't have these animals anymore because we had to give them back to their program.
Oh, this is the worst. We should sue them. So next up, we have our reviews, including the one that is just straight up a fan fiction. I hope that you guys are ready.
Have you read over this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
I have. I made sure that it's okay and it's funny. It's really funny.
It's not one of those fanfics.
No, it's fine. It's not that. Not that. Jack, Matt, just ahead of time, I'm so sorry that you chose to stay. Like, there's no way of explaining what's going on.
No, it's going to be great.
It's okay. We're all on YouTube. We all read comments. It's a thing.
So, first and foremost, 5 stars from UNSC Aegis Fate, or Aegis Fate as I've been informed, a must listen for Halo lore fans. Oni Agent Nate from Spotify, just updating my review. I've been a Halo fan since I was 7. I love the lore in Halo, and this show teaches it. The hosts are funny, knowledgeable, and good friends. I would recommend this podcast for any Halo fan, whether you're just a regular just play the game fan or a deep lore fan. Update number 2. Yes, I know I'm updating again, and I hope I'm not annoying anyone, but I wanted to add my introduction to Halo. My earliest memory of Halo was playing Halo 3 Floodgate when I was 7. Oh, rough. In 2014. Bro. No one was born after 2005. That doesn't make any sense.
People born after 2005 don't exist.
Dude, like one on my last days of student teaching, there was a kid there who told me that GTA 5 came out before he was born.
Dude. Oh my gosh. Those people exist.
Yes, they are in middle school. There are middle schoolers out there where GTA 5 is older than them.
Age check. Matt, how old are you?
I am 28.
Hell yeah. Okay, Jack, how old are you?
22, my guy.
Oh, okay. You're all, okay.
Yeah.
So you're a 2000s baby. Oh no.
Oh no.
2002.
Okay, that's a solid. Okay, it's not 2005. We're good.
No.
You got to experience VHS tapes probably.
For a brief moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. The only one I owned was the Empire Strikes Back
Oh,
from
hell
Star
yeah.
Wars.
That's baller.
And then I broke it and never watched it again.
No, I feel that, dude, in a real way. VHS tapes, like I loved them, but if you rewound them too many times,
Fragile.
they
They're
would just
extremely
stop working.
fragile.
Yeah, like me. So, and then he continues, and I remember my mom walked in and watched me blow up a combat form. Later that day, I was told I couldn't play Halo anymore. Then 6 years passed, and I visited a friend who was playing Halo 3. After that, I played Halo 3, Halo 5, Infinite, and then MCC in that order. Now I love the old Halo games. I haven't played Infinite in a while, and I love this show. Keep up the great work. You played Halo in like the most jank, organized playthrough ever.
Yeah, that was
3, 5, Infinite, and then MCC, which I assume means you started from Combat Evolved and then work your way down the ladder.
Yeah, that's gross.
Hey, they're out there.
At least
They're
you
out there.
played it.
Yeah, sorry you played Halo 5 as like your second Halo. That
Oh
probably-
yeah, no, like I'm surprised you stuck with it
Just
after
for a
that.
second there, you're like, maybe this isn't for me. Sorry, Halo guy. I know that you probably listen to this show still and you really like Halo 5, but there's I'm sorry to say that you're very alone in some way.
He has James
He
for some
does.
unholy reason.
Well, that's the thing. Halo 5 is great on easy difficulty. I agree with him on that.
No, I mean anyone can have fun doing that.
Yeah, the only thing is that the story is just
Mid. No, it's not even mid. It's ass. It's just not good.
the Sanghelios portions are awesome.
No,
though.
that's cool. That is
Yeah,
cool.
that's the
I wish
only.
they spent more time on that.
No,
I want-
100%.
You know what? You know what? F- it. Give me an entire game based on Sanghelios. Sold.
I'd do it.
Yep.
I just
You
want
would
to play
make it?
something
What?
Halo. What?
I said you would make it
No,
because you said I would.
no, I'd play it.
I know. I would make it. Someone was going to say something. Who said that? Who would I cut off?
I was just going to say Warzone was fun. I enjoyed Warzone.
Warzone Firefight made me want. You know. Shane is getting flashbacks. Shane,
No.
Why did they put active camo in there?
Shane wanted to be at max level before Infinite dropped. He is staring into the middle distance right now. He was having a hard time.
I'm not a fan. I'm not. I can see how people can have fun with it. I'm not a fan. It's PTSD for me, brother.
Next one is, oh gosh, okay, we're gonna actually just save the fan fiction for the last one. It's next, but I'm gonna just save it because these other guys need a spotlight. So 5 stars, awesome, from Big Booty Monkey Boy. This show is awesome. I recently got back into Halo stuff, and this show has been really helpful in filling me in on some missing details. P.S. It's Wart from the Discord. Yo, what's up?
Okay.
Love
Hey.
you. You're a cool guy.
Howdy.
I am always mind boggled that we're bringing people back to Halo.
Yeah.
What did we do? We talk. That's like kind of it.
We just
It's kind of crazy. That's all the community needed.
Just a little bit of positivity. Just the tiniest
Just-
little bit
exactly.
of having fun.
That's all it took.
Oh my gosh, these guys are actually enjoying themselves. That's crazy. I guess
Take notes.
I'll
343.
Oh yeah, make it fun.
Yeah. What? Someone from 343 has to know. Someone.
Maybe don't care so much about your esports teams.
Yep.
I know that esports is a huge deal. I go to HCS. Wait, Matt, are you going to HCS again this year?
I'm thinking of it. Yeah,
You should.
It was actually like really cool seeing all the, because like there's a lot of negativity on the internet about Halo, but seeing all the people like enjoying it and just playing the game and just talking about like positive stuff is just
Yep.
It honestly inspired me to play more Halo and get back into making things, and just it's great to be there and to meet all those people.
Yeah, because I mean, being real here, I mean, Halo. It's not Halo's community that's really the problem. I even posted this on Twitter one time that Halo's community is not toxic. Everyone likes to say that it is, but it's not Halo's community that's toxic. It's the freaking internet. The internet is toxic. You try to hang out with any of these community members in game outside of ranked, because people are really trying. They're sweating their ass off. If you hang out with them outside of ranked, if you hang out with them in person, Halo fans are some of the most chill people you'll ever get to meet, especially when you're talking about Halo. It's usually not the way that we see it as on the internet. And HCS is a great way to know that. We would love to see you guys there, not just you guys here in this call with us, but you guys out there, the random people that listen to this.
the community.
Exactly. Especially Eva. I would love to see you again. Shout out to Eva or Evo. I can't remember. I think it was Eva. But there was this one chick who approached me last year and was the only one that knew me from the library. And it completely blew my mind.
And shout out to Linda for Just because.
You have a name and you have not changed it. We
And it
appreciate
is
that.
normal.
Respect.
Respect Linda.
Respect Linda. Hashtag. So next, oh wait, Jack, are you going to HCS? I know you're all the way over on the other side of the planet, but are you going to HCS?
It's a life dream that will be completed one day, but sadly not this year.
Oh, we'll let you know if we come upon like several $1,000s or something.
Oh, please do. That would be great.
Okay. Next up from this guy's back, the dude with the cat that walked across his keyboard for his username. Shane, can you keep it down?
I'm sorry.
I'm the one allergic to cats here. Shut up.
5 stars. Why did you not read my last review? I guess I'll answer that real quick. It probably didn't pop up on the system. Help! The mini fridge is full from all of us. I now will send you a special potato that will slam a bowling ball into Austin's cranium. Then Shane, James, and not Connor. Also, who will win, Noble 6 or Space Marine or James? I think 6 because the Space Marine will tear James in half, and 6 who has the achievements of the Master Chief in a shorter time span. Ooh, man.
Ooh.
Holy
He's just like that. Oh my gosh. Probably Connor, help me out here. Warhammer. Space Marine. One Space Marine versus 6.
I'm taking 6.
I'm taking the Space. Like if we're talking like armored,
The
up,
big boys.
yeah, Space Marine every time.
I'm probably gonna have to say that I've seen some things. It's probably gonna be the Space Marine.
I've never.
They're wild,
ignorant.
dude. I'm gonna have to show you a Stardies. There's a little animated short that was made by one guy that's incredibly impressive.
I love us studies.
These
It's
dudes are
awesome.
meant to take.
Whenever
just,
they do those matchups like Warhammer versus anything, doesn't Warhammer usually win? 'Cause
Usually,
Warhammer
yes.
is
yeah.
I think the only
OP.
place that you could possibly have any form of competition is Doom Guy versus the Space Marine.
Doom he's gonna kill everything.
Yeah.
He's not killable.
He's too angry to die. Local man, too angry to die. Mort 11.
I may be wrong on this, but I think canonically he does respawn. I could be wrong.
Canonically, he just fucking respawns.
Someone quote me on that, or someone find out if I'm right or not. But I think that is an actual thing.
Now, hold on. We're not even considering whether James would win this fight.
No.
Let's take this in perspective.
No,
Me.
no, I don't know.
I respect James.
What if we put James in the Doom Guy armor?
I think
The armor is.
No, here's the thing. I think Doom Guy is less about the armor and more about his biceps. I think he just has an incredible workout routine.
No, the armor does.
He's strong as
Yeah, the armor is OP too.
The armor is OP, but it's not even covering his whole body. His arms are fully exposed.
I still think James dies first. I'm sorry, James, but you die first.
All right. So now we're on to the last one. This is part 1.
Oh my god.
Wait, what do you mean?
Part 2 isn't out yet. I have to wait for a release date.
It's going to be next week.
Maybe.
It's going to be on next part 2. It's going to be like, he's just going to keep it going. Oh my God.
5 stars. Let us out. Part 1. 1111 Wither King. This is going to be fun. I've done audiobooks, so let's do this.
All right. Oh boy.
Disclaimer, this story was all made up in my screwed up mind and some jokes that were casually said in the reviews before mine by emojis and the Russian Halo Wolf. Shane is not a kidnapper and it's just a joke. Don't dox him and take him into custody. Also, if emojis and the Russian Halo Wolf want to take your names off the story or delete the story entirely, I will gladly do it, and I'm deeply sorry if you didn't like me putting your names in the story. Day 1. This is Q Dorian, and I find myself waking from a state of being unconscious. I'm unable to see what's in front of me besides there being an ash-brown fabric in front of my face that is rough to the touch. Then suddenly I'm flashbanged by the light of the dimly lit room that leaves me temporarily blind. Then a warm and clammy hand grabs my chin, checking my condition. I hear a faint but familiar voice telling me to get up. I flutter my eyes in a desperate attempt to regain my sight. I look up to see what looks to be a male around his mid to late 20s. I try to get a look at the rest of the man, but I'm forcefully shoved out of the chair instead. I told you to get up, said the mysterious man calmly. I'm face first on the cold concrete, feeling blood slowly trickle down my temple from the impact.
So detailed.
Better get acquitted to your new room. You're going to be here for a while. I swivel my body in trying to get a look at him, but all I see is a door creak close and hear the unsettling click of a lock. Make that 2 locks. Hey, calls a new yet friendlier voice. You good? I find it hard to let out a word, my mouth parched and my throat hoarse as if I've been out for a couple days. I barely let out my words. Yeah, I think so. He let out a hand, which I greet with mine, and he pulls me onto my feet. My legs wobble uneasily, feeling the full force of gravity on my body. He answers with, "Good. You'll need to be at full strength if you want to survive here with us in Shane's garage," says the man. My mind is bustling like the subways in Manhattan. My thoughts, because I don't know how to use italics.
Because I don't know how to use italics.
I've been kidnapped. I'm in a garage. I'm here with multiple people? Shane from The Walking Dead?
Wait, what?
Though I could go on, my thoughts are swiftly cut off by a new question. So, what do you call yourself? I blink and stare, giving off the impression that I've forgotten my own name. Q-Dorian. My name is Q-Dorian, I finally reply. Nice to make your acquaintance. My name is Russian Halo Wolf, and that is, pointing over to the corner of the garage where another man sits in the fetal position as if traumatized, is emojis. There's no words. It's just 2 emojis. It's a clap emoji and a thinking emoji. So all I've got is emojis. His name is Emojis. He's been here the longest and is very... Well, look at him. I turn to face him once more only to see him staring back. His face shows him giving me the eyebrow and it's clapping for some reason. Because, like I said, the clapping emoji and the thinking emoji. I look back to see the Russian Halo Wolf looking at the man with concern. He looks back at me and says, "He's been doing that since I arrived." He looks down and shakes his head. "Here, let's get you settled. Sit down on this spare tire." I fumble trying to walk my already sore legs to the dusty spare. I ease down trying to prevent any further injury. That in mind, I rub my forehead, feeling the blood had already dried. The Russian Halo Wolf leaves my side to what appears to be a freezer from the 90s and grabs a pre-cooked chicken breast and hands it to me. "Here, this should ease the pain. Better listen to Shane next time, pal. Not that he's coming back to this garage in a while anyways." I still am confused about this Shane fellow. For a kidnapper, he's very calm. "So, who is Shane exactly?" He rolls his eyes. "I'm assuming that you've listened to the Library Halo Lorecast. You can listen to the Library Halo Lorecast on all podcast apps near you. Also, join them on Discord at discord.gg/JumperScape.
Is that?
It's in the. It's written.
That's great.
I nod. "And you know the hosts, right?" And there, I got it. The answer was blatantly in front of me. I slapped my face from how stupid I felt. "Yeah, that guy," he said. "Well, what do we do?" He looks at me, taking some kind of amusement from my naiveness. That should be naivete. "We do nothing but eat microwave pizza, moldy casserole, and leftover chicken." And there we sat for a good while. Part 2? And should I make each part longer or keep it the same length?
I think that's a perfect length. We don't need to go any longer. Thank you.
The Discord is seeping into our reviews.
Good freaking Lord.
Bro, I just woke up from a fever dream.
How do you think I feel?
Oh my gosh, dude.
Well, we need the continuation, though. We do need
I
that.
think I do
Part
need a
two.
part
Come on,
2.
guys.
I do need a part 2.
I feel like I need to get baptized again. After that, oh my gosh.
Like, geez, that was... Wow.
Shane, you bloodied a man.
You did.
I guess so.
You bloodied him. He's worried. He doesn't even remember who he is. He thinks you're from The Walking Dead. You're not even bald. Kind of buzzed. Better word.
Short hair.
Short hair. You're not messing with your hair like 24/7. Wild. Thank you for that. Wither King. Absolutely wild. Wish that we could have you in the Discord. We know that we can't, but it would still be fantastic. So, great to interact with you in this way. Absolutely hilarious. He gave us a good chuckle.
Wait, why can't he be in the Discord?
Various reasons. Basically, it's one of those situations of just restricted technology. Yeah. A couple of people who listen to the show are in that situation, and we just kind of this is part of the reason why we interact in this way. So then they have an opportunity to interact outside of the Discord. But if you want to interact in the Discord, there's a Q&A that we're going to be doing in the Discord server, which just got plugged. So I'm not going to say it again. But my friends, Jack, Matt, are you ready to answer questions that they've left for us? There's like a lot of them.
Sure.
Let's do it.
Okay, first one comes from Seaman 2781. It's C-man, Shane. Okay.
He knows what he's doing.
I also had a chuckle, don't worry.
He knows what he's doing.
After a little bit of thought,
He's a fella.
he's a fun guy. After a little bit of thought and contemplation, is the galaxy infected by the flood really that bad? If everything is flood, is anything really flood?
Yes,
Bro.
that's bad.
It's all hive mind.
think it's
It's all
bad.
that's horrible.
That's bad.
It's bad.
That's bad. That's bad.
Have you
That's
not
bad.
read
That's
the
bad.
novels?
I have. It's bad.
I haven't. Because like you'll still, if you're infected, you'll still have some level of consciousness. You're basically being tormented. It's
Yeah.
bad. It's bad.
Yeah,
Again,
it's torture.
to-
You know,
To quote Shrek once again, that's bad. That's bad. That's bad. That's bad. What is it? And which one is that? Is that one? Is that the first one?
I think so.
Merry Men, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Cool. Chaplain Strife asks, so Halo 3's mission Cortana was possibly going to have flood arbiters, seeing as how all of our oh gosh, sometimes people, oh no, there's typos. Oh gosh, how do I read this? Most of the bodies of the arbiter were on high charity. What would your reactions be seeing those new enemies?
wait, what do you mean flood arbiters?
There were arbiters that were intended to be in Halo 3. I knew about this.
When you go through the mausoleum,
yeah,
that's where they were supposed to be
There's
placed.
all of the in the mausoleum of the arbiter.
Yes.
There was going to be a bunch
And
of
it was cut out.
flood-infected arbiters.
I don't know why. I don't know if it was like
That would have been fucking cool, actually.
yeah, no, 100%. It makes you wonder why.
I'm going to guess just time crunch.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, they had to cut stuff out.
But my reaction to that, damn, that's crazy. And then pull out my spanker and kill him, and then move on. Yeah, that probably would have just. I probably would have taken too long. Like, oh, that's cool, and then killed him and moved on.
They're
It would
actually
have been one of those things, though. Sorry.
no, go ahead.
It would have been one of those things that you see it and you kind of move on, but then you keep talking about it later.
Yeah, definitely.
It'd be something you'd have to come back to. I feel like it's something like you'd come back to like at a later age once you start understanding the lore, and the history of the arbiters. Like, oh, shit, that's actually really, really cool.
I think in MCC there's actually a mod. Halo 3 Mythic Overhaul has that in it.
Oh,
They added the flood
I was
arbiters.
just about to say Mythic Jaki, his Halo 3 overhaul has the flood arbiters in it.
All of the Mythic Overhauls are fantastic.
I have yet to play one.
All of the Mythic Overalls.
I hate you so much.
I know. Next is A2Bucks. Is the Halo Lo-Fi Woman modeled after anybody? Are y'all in progress with trying to get new songs and artists on that? Okay, so this is a question for me because I'm the one in charge of that. So Jack, Matt, if you didn't know, we actually host a 24/7 Halo Lo-Fi live stream on YouTube. And there's a woman on there, and people don't know who that is sometimes, and that's fine. There's a lot of fun facts about that animation and the station itself. First of all, I want to give a little bit of a fun fact that'll probably go into the Discord at some point, but I'm going to say it first here. The window that she's in front of is actually the accurate perspective of where she would be in the Oni Tower in New Alexandria. We modeled it after that. If you take your theater camera up to the windows near like the top, I think, and you just put it in the perspective of looking out, you'll see that it's basically the exact correct position. So she has a perfect view of the city because she's in that tower.
Hey there, Halo fans. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with our friends right after these messages.
Secondly, who is that? That's a good question. So 3 Dots, our artist who did the animation for that live stream, he commonly, like very frequently, will point out that he doesn't understand why we use her as a sort of surrogate mascot in the Discord server because there's a lot of emojis and emotes and stickers that have her in it. But she's from Tarkov, a Halo story. She is named Daya, Lieutenant Daya, and it's been long enough that I don't have any problem with saying this, but Daya dies in episode 4, and when she dies in episode 4, that's why Sergio 3 Dots likes to question me, because he's just like, why did you make someone that you killed into a mascot? And I'm like, I feel bad, because here's the thing, right? Daya, I loved her as a character, but she had a purpose, and she fulfilled that purpose. I don't think I needed to go as far as I did, but I did. And that was just because it was the first project. I was just wanting to, honestly, Reach was an inspiration. People die. It's just the way that it is. But also because the voice actress for Daya, I wanted to bring her back for Tarkov Oni Files. She was supposed to be the one that showed up to talk to Ortega in Ortega's Oni Files episode. But I can't get in touch with her. She's just kind of completely gone off the grid. She won't respond to messages. I think she deleted her Discord. So basically, I just out of a sense of wanting to make things right in some way, I just sort of made that character the surrogate mascot for now, alongside Tempest, which I've talked about Tempest before. So, any of these fun facts that you want, though, they're here in the Discord. There's a little channel called Tarkov Bonus Content that will tell you a lot of fun facts about a lot of these things. So highly recommend that, my friend, since you're here in the Discord, and you should look anyway. So there's that. Take a look at the lo-fi. And as for, are we going to get new songs and artists? That's up to you guys. Because the thing is that I looked and found every single artist that I possibly could that has ever produced a lo-fi track for Halo. And they're all on there. Every single one who responded to me, every single one who did any of that. Some of them I didn't need, some of them are just completely unattainable. They can't respond. So I just can't add them out of goodwill. But, if you're out there and you're just like, I really want to make a lo-fi track, make it. There is a link in the live stream that you can follow to submit your own tracks. And I get email notifications every time someone does it. No one's done it yet, so that would be great. Otherwise, the only other option that I've thought about taking is just straight up seeing if I can find a composer to work with, make a track, maybe even make them myself. I don't know. It's just, there is like a solid 50 minutes of music at the moment, and that's great, but we could always use more. Bad Soy right now has been doing great with making new tracks on his own volition. He just makes a lot of lo-fi, so no surprise. He's here in the Discord. It's just he doesn't know how to use it, so he doesn't know that he's here yet, I think. But it's just the situation we're in. But yeah, that should answer everything there. Ian the Don in Connor's Attic asks, how are humans able to breathe on alien planets in the Halo universe? Is it just implied that the planets have stable atmospheres in which humanity can breathe? This is another question that I got to take, guys.
I mean, a lot of the Halo games take place on a Halo ring, which are habitable.
Yep.
So
Plants. They have plants.
There's oxygen.
Yep.
Plants. What's the word I'm looking for? Photosynthesis. That's happening. That's why the photosynthesis is happening.
So there's only maybe like a handful of locations in the Halo franchise where like, this is kind of odd, but it's just like most of the time you're on the Ark, you're on a Halo ring, or you're on, Earth. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But also, I was just going to say also, like, aren't their helmets fitted with like oxygen rebreathers or something, I would think?
Yeah, they can survive out in the vacuum of space. There's only a few planets that, here's the thing. If it can be colonized by humanity, that means it has a solid source of oxygen. So if we're on those planets, it's already automatically assumed that you can go there. There's plenty of planets that they dodge because there's an entire section of Oni that is dedicated to finding planets that they can colonize. So there's probably hundreds, if not thousands, of planets that they've skipped. It's just the way that it is. The only planet that we know of right now that is just you can't breathe there if you go there is Balaho, because that's all methane, baby. So it smells terrible and you also can't breathe.
I'm just taking a lighter with you.
Oh man. They didn't even need to glass the planet.
You just literally set
big lighter.
You set the atmosphere on fire.
Man. Make Oppenheimer's fears become reality.
Oh my God. I was just thinking about that. What just the God, that's so insane to even think about.
Can we get an edit of that scene from Oppenheimer, but instead of his face, it's just a grunt?
knowing our Discord community is probably
someone
now
will
happening.
do it.
Someone's already on it. Someone's on it.
So it's already done. Probably.
They probably finished it a while ago. They'll probably tag you here in a second.
Oh, you did.
All right. So next up from Ethan, Council of Patreon Names, asks, do you think the Chief prefers Freddy's spicy fry sauce or regular fry sauce? I've been to Freddy's, probably the Freddy's.
I don't think I've been to Freddy's.
It's great.
Yeah, I can't answer.
It's like a different kind of Culver's. They do like really, really smashed burgers, like really like they're really thin.
Dude, shut up. I'm getting on. Damn. I don't need to hear this right now.
Oh man, no, I'm hungry.
That's what I'm saying. Gosh.
My bad. Cortana's OnlyFans manager, Council of Patreon Names, asks, do you guys think Taco Bell would affect Chief like the rest of us, causing us to spend hours in the bathroom after? I think y'all are weak. I don't have that problem.
For the most part, I'm fine with T-Bell. You just gotta not overdo it.
I don't eat a bunch of the crap.
Yeah.
I don't eat a lot of Taco Bell, but when I do, I don't have any problems. So
Yeah.
I can't think of anything or of any time where I was like, oh, I wish I didn't eat so much, but yeah, I don't get affected by Taco
There's
Bell
so
like
there's
that.
so much about Taco Bell that it's like it's good for your buck because you get like 4 items for $5.
Probably the cheapest fast food joint out right now.
And for the most part, it's not terrible for you because you could just get straight beans.
So you can get some relatively healthy stuff.
Especially if you get Fresco. Hell yeah.
I swear they've also like halved their menu of everything that I've liked.
Oh, they have. They
They've
definitely have.
They've cut off a lot of their menu.
And that's why I stopped going there.
Although they did just add the Cantina chicken, which is basically just rotisserie chicken, and it's really good. That stuff is delicious.
I want the steak quesarito back.
Yeah, for real.
It might be an online only thing, but who's doing that?
I know a loophole. I'll share it with you guys later.
Awesome, thank you.
I'm gonna gatekeep it from the Patreons and everyone else.
Jack, I've never been. Do you have Taco Bell?
We do. I will say we have them. I just have never personally gone before.
You've never felt the pull of a delicious.
He's probably
burrito?
heard the stereotypes and was like, "Yeah, I don't feel like dying in the bathroom for 10 hours."
Yeah, they just started popping up out of nowhere, and I'm like, this is somewhere I'm probably never going to visit.
mainland.
The Americans have arrived.
Taco Bell,
It's
the
great, though.
Americans are here.
It's great because you guys have all of the testing over there, so we get to see cause and effect of like what happens before we do anything.
Oh yeah, just look at our obesity rates.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
that tells you
exactly.
enough. We have too many Taco Bells.
No such thing.
There's actually like 5 within driving distance of us right
Yes, I'm not even kidding. There's probably about 4 or 5
now. To be
Taco
honest,
Bells alone.
I would take that over every other fast food joint though.
Just about.
Because I could at least go to Taco Bell and still make my macros for the day.
I'm taking Chick-fil-A over Taco Bell, but that's about it.
It is probably the healthiest place you can go to because you can just get like a wheat bun with roasted chicken, and then there's like almost no calories but a bunch of protein.
We did not answer the question.
Oh, you right. Chief would probably be like the rest of us because he probably wouldn't spend hours in the bathroom.
Yes, he would not. He'd be fine.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit of an exaggeration. I'd actually go as far to say that Taco Bell is kind of underrated for that reason.
Hell yeah. Absolutely. 100%. Next up, Dustin, default of shameful. That's default Shane.
Yeah, no shit.
Just wanted to remind you of his existence.
I know.
This is kind of my own headcanon, but what would y'all think if Sergeant Forge was actually part of the Orion project alongside Johnson? Personally, I already love his character, but it would make it even better. I like the fact that he's just a normal guy. I think it would actually kind of take away from his achievement that he killed an arbiter if he just happened to also be him.
Yeah. Because I mean, I don't know, the jokes about him just being like the first normal guy killing an arbiter. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that title.
I don't know. We don't know a lot of people who were in the Orion project, to be fair, but I don't know. He wasn't really doing a whole lot of damage with his fists against the arbiter. So
Turn around and say that to my face.
as you wish.
Yeah, the dumbest death of all time, but God, it's funny.
Ismaz Donskideedle
Yeah.
asks, what does Austin think of Connor's haircut? I don't know. Let me see it, Connor. It looks like you've been wearing headphones.
Yeah.
It's a nice short cut. I'm a big fan. It's very, very collected.
Thank you.
Sometimes I wish that my hair could be anywhere near that, but my hair is a mess all the time because there's no other way around curly hair.
All right.
Preaching to the choir here, brother.
That's what I'm saying, man. I got Irish hair. It's bad. Okay. Lactating Don, the Big Moose, Council of Patreon Names, asks, who would win, the Flood from Halo or the Tyranids from 40K? Gross and Icky versus Bugs.
The Flood.
The Flood.
If it's
Flood.
if it's sentient,
Yeah.
the Flood win.
Yep.
It's just, the only I would do say the Flood, but my only argument is the amount of numbers that one could just pull.
All it takes is is one infection form capturing a Bile Titan.
The thing about the
Tyranids,
Flood is that
not
they're as
Tyranids.
powerful
Oh.
as whatever they infect. And as long as they can infect them, then they win.
Yes, Tyranids are from Warhammer.
Oh, I heard Terminids.
No.
I had Helldivers.
We got to play Helldivers tonight.
Yes, I have
think.
Helldivers on the
I
mind.
think we gotta
After
play
the
Helldivers.
news that has happened, we got
Yes,
We got to
I-
celebrate.
I have Helldivers on the mind.
I really
apologize.
want them to, like, that screenshot is not out yet, but I really want them to make those that review chart a cape.
No, that'd be amazing.
Chart cape would be amazing.
Would go so hard.
That'd be hilarious. Next question is from
Bum, 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 bum.
Kyle, Council of Patreon names.
Okay.
I was just checking something real quick. What are your thoughts on the soundtracks of Halo as done by both 343 and Bungie? How do they compare to each other? That's a big question.
I am a fan of almost all Halo soundtracks. I have not listened to one Halo song and been like, man, this is boring, or like, this isn't Halo. Hot take. I mean, I guess not even a hot take. I don't want to say it's the best, but definitely the most underrated soundtrack, Halo 4. People at the time, I remember getting flack for the main menu music not being the traditional Halo music. I think it matches the game perfectly.
It matches Combat Evolved's vibe, especially. and I
No,
love
yeah,
that.
absolutely. Very like Forerunner-esque. Sounds very, very. It's a different sound for a different start of the game. So
I wish that they would do something like that again. To be
no,
honest.
I agree. I
'Cause
agree.
I do love how it sounds. Like the choir that's chanting in the back when the didact rises.
Mhm.
Gosh, it hits.
Halo 3 and Halo Reach are probably like it's a top, depending on the day. They're both my favorite Bungie soundtracks.
Mhm.
Then Halo 4 is definitely has my favorite 343 soundtrack.
What do you guys think,
Halo-
Mr. Guests?
Honestly, I don't think there's been a single bad Halo soundtrack, to be
No,
perfectly honest. I think
absolutely
they've all
not.
done really well with what they needed to do.
Mhm.
And obviously you can say something about the original, like Marty O'Donnell, Michael Salvatore scores. Like they're iconic and they're great. But I think even some of the stuff that's come out recently, they've done a really good job of adapting the core like themes and motifs from the music and making it new by adding extra like instruments and stuff into it. Yeah, that's just my take anyway.
That's fair. Matt, you got some?
I mean, yeah, I actually generally agree with everything you guys have been saying. Like Halo 4 is super underrated, I think, because they strayed from a lot of the classic themes that people didn't like at the time. But I think like in retrospect, like they did a lot of really cool things with the soundtrack in that game, and it works really well for what it's trying to do. And pretty much every game has like some banger tracks in there.
I am going to toss in a game that no one ever talks about, that I talk about all the time. Y'all got to give the Spartan Strike soundtrack a chance.
I knew you were gonna say that.
It's so freaking good.
That.
It's so
I've got
good.
a close affection to the Spartan Strike soundtrack because it's pretty much the only thing you hear in Monolith.
Yep, but I was like, because it was a conversation you and I had. We were like, how are we going to do the
Yeah.
soundtrack? We don't want to do just Halo. And I'm like, what about Spartan Strike? Nobody ever uses it.
Yeah. And I will say on the topic of music, and a cheeky plug to myself, we have a dedicated composer making a brand new score for Pious Dawn.
We love that. We love that a lot.
Nice.
Your composer reached out
So-
to me to be like, I like doing composer things. Is there anything I can do composer wise? And I'm like, can you do this? And he's like, let me get back to you on that. It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But
No,
yeah,
it's awesome.
yeah, I am. He's 100% focused on your stuff. He loves what he's getting to do. I know that much from the conversations I've had. I'm so excited to see what you guys come up with, because I love completely original stuff. It's fantastic. Plus, like, I don't know, sit down. Maybe you'll understand what I mean by this. Machinimas and fan films use the video game soundtrack a little too much.
A lot.
Yeah.
They use it a lot.
Kind of cringe.
It's because they can, I think. But yeah, I like sometimes when I get like a composer to do something, I'm like, that's so much better than just using the Halo Reach soundtrack. Like, I'll be completely honest with you.
Every time
You don't want to have the wrong kind of deja vu.
No, and it can be a little pricey, to be fair, because like we've got two composers that we're working with right now. Jafet Meza, he did the soundtrack for SPV3. He's working on the soundtrack for Tarkov Season 2. And then we have another a composer by the name of Mitchell Broom working on an original soundtrack for Stories from Waypoint that we're going to retroactively add to the previous episodes and then include in the new ones. And both of them, to be fair, I will pay it happily. But man, they are pricey. You pay for what you get. That's the way that it goes.
The price tag often matches the quality, which is good in retrospect, but it's just something you have to deal with.
Yes, the only time that hasn't been true for me, Kevin. I want to say I can never really get his last name correct, and I don't want to do it wrong, so I'm just going to say it's Kevin. Kev, he's a really cool guy. He's this Irish fellow that I met that did the soundtrack for Tarkov Season 1. He severely undersold himself because I was in college at the time and I didn't have the kind of money to pay him, but he really wanted to apply his work to something really cool and original. And now I don't get to talk to him very often because he's off doing like sound effects and music for legitimate AAA games. So I guess it worked out. I don't know. But he's a great guy. I love him. Just I wish I got to talk to him a little bit more. Okay, only a few more. We're going to try to speed run a few of these. Lactating Dawn, the Big Moose Council of Patreon names, once again is back, and it says, you wake up and feel strange. You look in the mirror and see you've turned into a copy of Halo 5. What do?
Throw myself in the shredder.
Play custom games.
Wow.
Yeah, that's probably about the only good thing I can think of is just play the custom games.
I think I would do my very best to not have anyone open my case, because that would be ripping me open.
I would learn to love myself for what I am.
This is a lesson in self-worth.
Go to therapy is what I would do.
I think the therapist would need therapy after talking to a sentient, communicating game case.
Yeah.
Also, according to the picture, because they attached a picture to this question, it's a life-size, like human-size case
That's
of Halo
horrifying.
5. So you wouldn't even fit in the Xbox. You would need a human-sized Xbox. Next up from Slapnuts, who wins, ODSTs or ARC Troopers from Star Wars?
ODSTs.
ODSTs, probably.
I'd say ODSTs.
Because
not by a wide margin.
Here's the thing. Star Wars armor does not know how to account for ballistics.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is true.
They don't know how to deal with that. There's things like slug throwers that they call them. That's like ballistics, but they're not very practical because they're expensive. And ODSTs coming out here full strapped. And blasters take a long time to travel through the air, and they're also inaccurate. Our ARC Troopers would be more accurate, granted, but still, they're at a severe disadvantage. I'm on that. That's what I'm on. Next, C-Man is back, and he asks, who in the Halo universe would be the most and least fun to have a 16-hour LSD trip with? I feel like Sergeant Johnson would be the most fun, and Didact would be the least fun. I do not condone or encourage the use of illicit substances.
Ooh.
The most fun? Okay, I'm going to say Chips Dubbo. Definitely.
Oh my God.
Least fun? I'm probably going to actually have to say probably like Chief or Six, because they would both just kind of sit there, I think.
I mean, Noble Six will stare at you.
That would be wild.
That's in his file.
Grave 9.
Oh,
Does
God.
that mean that you die?
Oh my gosh. You're giving LSD to the grave mine?
That's a mean you die, right?
I think so. I'd hit up Thalvadam Arbiter for that, I think. That'd be fun.
What is this? It's just
I'm taking.
Probably just start screaming about the prophets.
I'm taking Cortana pre-rampancy.
Pre-rampancy.
Yes.
For the most fun?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, 100%. Halo 4 Cortana to be precise.
Oh my gosh.
Stop. Stop. I didn't mean it like that.
I wonder why you picked that one.
Yeah, I don't. You
didn't think that one through.
You guys do have good points.
Atriox. Got all them polygons, my guy.
Yeah, definitely taking Halo 4 Cortana. And then Gravemind as the least fun. I'm good. Okay. I'm really, really good.
Connor out here with the most fun is definitely, I like his answer.
Connor said Atriox. Atriox would just revert back to his primal state and just be a monkey.
Now that would be fun. That would truly be some fun
Atriox
stuff
would just
to
turn
watch.
into a full-blown gorilla.
Who's your least fun though, Connor?
Halsey.
Oh man.
She
probably would be a
that's a good
bummer.
answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'd be a buzzkill.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, I could definitely see Halsey not being fun doing that.
Or she just talks about, like ending all humanity because it's not worthy.
Yeah, and then you just go on a panic after that.
You just have a
really
full-blown
start thinking
panic
and seeing
attack
it.
for 8 hours.
And then
Okay.
you gotta try and will yourself out of that.
We've got 5 more. Lactating Don, Big Moose, Council of Patreon names asks, do you think the UNSC would stand a chance in the Warhammer 40K? What is up
No.
with you and the 40K thing? No, it wouldn't stand a chance.
This is like a recurring theme every week.
I don't get what this is.
Yeah, why is this? We need to. I think you guys get the message at this point.
Warhammer wins. Thank you. Flood would probably stand a chance. Moving on. Sorry, Jack, Matt, you don't get to say anything about this. C is back. C is back and asks, which other gaming universe would make an epic crossover with the Halo games?
Helldivers.
I wouldn't object to seeing Marcus Phoenix taking on the Flood alongside Chief.
That would be cool.
Okay,
I mean,
I'll
there's
take that.
That would be pretty cool.
Here's the thing. There's already technically a Gears of War and Halo crossover. It's not like canon, but there is a crossover. Do you not know about this?
I don't.
They-
You're
there's
talking
Halo-
about Gears
Cat and
5.
Emil.
Yeah, Gears
There's
5.
Cat and Emil. There's skins in
And they're
Gears.
so cool.
Yes, if you want to count that. But I'm either taking Star Wars or Helldivers. Has to be something very, very sci-fi.
Helldivers would be sick.
Helldivers would be very, very sick.
Mm-hmm. I'm thinking.
Just as like a headcanon thing, I subscribe to the idea that Call of Duty Infinite Warfare is like early years Halo.
Ooh, wow.
That's not.
Because they do
I like
have
that.
a lot of design similarities.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
a lot of
solid,
that.
actually.
A lot of the weapon designs and ship designs and stuff is very reminiscent of like early Colony era, like Halo.
I like that idea.
That's a fun idea. I like that. I like this guy.
I like this guy.
This man's spitting.
Okay, let me think here. I'm thinking. Oh man, there's so many franchises that I'd be so down for. You know what? Just ball out. Watch Dogs.
Pardon me?
Let's see what happens when you get DedSec against the UNSC.
You just inspired me. Hear me out.
Okay,
You said that.
DedSec. Yes.
Dead Space.
Oh,
You said that. I'm like, oh my god. If you want to
cut off the limbs.
you want to get that Halo horror experience, there you go.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Roots would be a lot scarier in that.
Okay.
Just see a man get torn limb from limb, just back into a different hallway.
3 to go. Sergeant Forge's Chipotle shotgun asks, who would win a 1v1 between Johnson and Forge? Johnson.
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 Matt.
Johnson.
Okay, thank you. We're about to have an argument. Next up.
No.
Slapnuts. If time and money were not an issue, what changes would you make to the library or JumperScape as a whole? Jack, go ahead.
Wow. Time and money were not an issue. Like an entire production studio where everybody can have their own like studios to do their own individual things, and it's like a giant office, and then like once a week Austin just holds a group meeting with everyone, and it just devolves into the most random conversation ever.
Did you just like perfectly summarize my goals? That's like exactly what I want.
Yeah, like honestly, just like a big studio, branch out a little bit, work with other voice actors, producers, content creators. Probably quit my day job if it ever got to that point. I'd quit my day job.
Yep.
And work on JumperScape stuff full time.
Matt, what would you want out of JumperScape if we just were able to do anything we wanted?
I think you could just do like a whole bunch of more like different kind of projects and ideas you had. I know that's basically what was
Just
already
make
said, but I
more
mean,
Like that's just the
No,
way
you're
it
not
is.
wrong at all.
It's
You're
true.
not wrong.
I think that's a good idea.
It is. Do more
like just branching out and doing all kinds of different content ideas.
Yeah, because that is a thing. I think if I had unlimited money, if I could just do whatever I wanted, anytime, all the time, with library or JumperScape, I'm just going to go with JumperScape. I would want to establish ourselves into multiple franchises, because JumperScape is not for Halo. It's just right now it's focused a lot on Halo. But the next show that we produce is going to be the last thing we do for Halo franchise. It's going to be like everything is going to be continuing as normal. Tarkov will get probably another season after this one. Stories from Waypoint will continue until Waypoint stops posting their stories. The library will continue on to the foreseeable future, so long as we can keep it going. And this new show will be continuing on as long as we can keep it going. But Halo is not the only thing that we like. It's not the only thing that we want to work on. And James's show, Room 237, is about horror films. We have a lot of things that we want to do. So I think if I had all the time and money that I wanted, I would want to establish ourselves into those universes, build out a bunch of productions. I think the first thing that I would do absolutely would probably be pitch 343 a movie or a book. Because I've got a really good idea. I just really want to do it myself, and I don't want someone to take my idea. Which the one conversation that I had with Microsoft about the idea of potentially writing a legit canon version of Tarkov, a Halo story, was, sure, you won't own it though. I'm like, oh, okay. And then ended the conversation, never emailed them again. So that's what I would do.
You will not.
Yeah.
That's just rough.
I'd like to approach them with a few movie ideas, but I think I'll wait until we've got a few more under our belt produced.
The best option. I'm just going to say this outright because I already know they will never take solicitation. They will never do it. The only time you'll ever get an opportunity to make anything for the Halo franchise is if they reach out to you. You will never have that opportunity. That's just sort of a thing. Even the most popular creators out here who have tried to make stuff for the Halo community and the Halo franchise legitimately, it's never gone well. If you break the cycle, great. But most of the time, as soon as the option is out there, they're just like, no, this doesn't fit into our plan. So no, bye. It's just it's a thing to do, to keep in mind. The good thing that you could do, though, is keep on impressing them, because then it's more likely that they'll just straight up contact you first. Hell yeah. Last question. From Boomerang, the guy that did the Crash series and is still doing the Crash series, supposedly. Why does my face hurt when I hit it with a stick?
That's the last question.
Yes.
Physics.
I guess you just don't do that. I don't know.
No, it's not answering the question. Why does it hurt?
Because you're smacking yourself with a stick.
I'm going to have to say the real answer. Nerve endings in your skin, they actually really react. They react and send signals to your brain, and your brain translate these signals into what's basically pain. And what pain is it warns you about your body taking damage. It keeps you safe. It keeps it's sort of like a reaction to ensure that you know that something's going on with your body. Those who don't have these reactions are typically much more at risk for things. They'll do things like hold hot light bulbs and burn their hands, but they can't feel it.
Neuroscience.
What, Shane?
Can you stop?
Let me just.
You should do face exercises to make your face harder, and then the stick will hurt less.
Do face crunches.
Just
If you like punch yourself in the face, a whole
crunch
bunch of
your
times,
face
it will
up.
eventually like toughen your face so that when you get hit in the face, it won't hurt as much.
It's exposure therapy.
Jaws size.
Jaws are size. I actually had those at one point. It's literally just a rubber ball that you chew on for like 2 hours, and it helps you tone your jaw. Chone.
That's funny. All right. Well, we're just going to call it there. Very much appreciate the questions. We're almost caught up, but I'm sure that's not going to be the case next week. So yeah, if you got questions for us, feel free to go to the Discord and discord.gg/JumperScape for the library Q&A channel. You'll be able to ask us questions there, and we just kind of go in sequence. Otherwise, yeah, it's been a great time. I hope to have this great time again next week. Next week, if I can take a quick look, I need to see if we have anybody joining us next week, but I don't think we actually do.
We're going to tell them if we do.
Oh yeah, every single time. Yes, actually, next week we are going to be joined by our very own sponsors. We're going to be joined by Scion Esports. So, yeah. So if you want to see what those guys are up to, they have their own podcast going on. We'll probably talk about it next week. If you want to see what that's going to be about, next week is also going to be about Halo 4. So we'll see what that brings. It'll be a good time. I'm excited to talk about Halo 4. Otherwise, Jack, Matt, thank you once again for joining us. If you want to interact with these guys, it's going to be here in the Discord. If you want to know what they're up to, listen to Tuesday's episode. They had a whole lot of time to just sort of, expound upon the things that they do for a living or not a living, depending.
I'm living while doing it. So
exactly. There
close
you
enough.
go. There you go. So yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us. Has this been a good time? Did you regret this?
No, it's been great, dude.
Oh,
It's been great.
Oh.
Love you guys.
We're in the clear.
cool. All right. Well then, great. That's great. Perfect. Thank you for saying that. Your payments will be sent in a couple hours. Now, for real though. Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll see you guys next week with Halo 4. Thanks, Connor.
You're welcome.
The library was produced and published by JumperScape Audio. Funding was provided by our fantastic patrons on Patreon. If you enjoy the show and wish to support JumperScape's future projects or get some sweet benefits, join our Patreon at patreon.com/JumperScape or become part of this truly special community at discord.gg/JumperScape. Thank you for your listenership, and we hope you enjoyed.